You know, when I hear these kits, I hear sounds that I've been chasing my whole life. Authentic, old school, that also could be like super modern.
Yeah, so what we were trying to do here is like to take these like vintage drums and make them in a more modern setting, like appropriate for whatever, basically modern music, like breakbeats, modern rock, pop, whatever. The calfskin heads and like vintage hardware and stuff like that.
We've been kind of obsessing together over these drums. We were drummers in Gothenburg, but we didn't know that there were drums made in Gothenburg. Christopher, he introduced me to an even more obsessed collector. I'm the original owner of 2 kits, but they weren't complete, so through this collector I could make my kits complete and playable. And that's actually kind of been almost emotional on this session, to see the kits complete and being played and hearing it complete for the first time in, I don't know, 70 years. It's almost like being an archaeologist. The cool thing has been to take these quote-unquote old-sounding drums and, you know, making them fit in any modern contexts. Because, you know, when I hear these kits, I hear sounds that I've been chasing my whole life. And turns out with modern drums and plastic drum heads, you can only come so far.
Most of these drums actually have calfskin heads, at least on top, some of them on the bottom as well.
Calfskin heads are different in that they come from calves and cows. And I've never seen a flat cow, because there are no flat cows. So no matter what piece of leather you get to make your heads from, it's going to be bubbly. So this means that there are like minute differences in thickness over the head that's been developing for literally decades.
That does to the sound is that it makes it a bit, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but warmer sounding, for sure. Not so much high end as you would get out of a plastic head.
So you get a more, I would say, a noisier whoosh than a resonant whoosh. And you'll hear in the, especially in the bass drums, where the frequency is so low that that noisiness becomes more in the audible range of frequencies, where you get like boof instead of vroom. That's the main difference. I mean, I love it.
In some ways, I really do prefer the calfskin heads. It's a sound that you can't get out of a drum in any other way, which is really cool. And doing it in the studio, because these days I don't tour with calfskin heads because they're too fragile. So I'm happy to be playing these heads, actually.
We wanted to create something authentic, old school, that also could be like punchy, in your face, super modern. But we also added this tape machine. So we've recorded through the tape machine in just preamp mode. And it just has this beautiful, huge bass response, and it has almost like an amp breakup kind of thing. Just a beautiful, warm distortion. Very, very rich. The first kit had the big 50s bass drum, a little more shallow, huge, super heavy snare drum. For this session, I'm having trouble to find heads for the toms. So I started searching, and it turns out one of the best percussion, like conga head makers are actually in Gothenburg, Sweden. What are the odds? So he persuaded me to try thicker, proper calfskin heads on one of my snares and the toms. And I was a little skeptic because it doesn't sound good. It has this basketball-y thing to it. But he was like, nah, you just gotta break in the heads. You have to play the stuff, otherwise it will never sound good. So I spent, a day or two just like hammering in new heads. And they kind of warmed up. It's crazy how a 1940s kit can sound so rock and roll.
Kit number 2, that's my personal drums, and it's a bigger bass drum, normal size toms. And we did 2 versions of it, which one's like open sounding and one was muted with towels for different flavors.
These drums are modified. The snare drum is modified to accept modern heads. So we wanted to do something, take it as far to a modern sort of R&B pop kind of vibe that we could. But with the same microphone philosophy, using his amazing collection of vintage cymbals.
This kit that I'm sitting by right now is also one of my kits with a smaller bass drum and a bit higher tuned. Maybe like slightly resemblant to the sound that you would get out of the Motown era or something like that. A bit more jazzy, but also suitable for hip hop or whatever.
Yeah, with this last one, it's kind of a mix of things. Both me and Christopher are huge fans of like Clyde Stubblefield and, the 60s soul drummers in America. The first snare we put up with it is a deep, heavy, super thin calfskin heads tuned way up, so it's a bit risky.
I really enjoy working here at Svenska Grammofonstudion. It's a great room, great collection of mics, and love being here. I've done plenty of session work here and feels like home.
There is a lot to love about this space. Apart from the amazing gear, it has windows. It has amazing ceiling windows. So there's this natural light here that is rare in any recording situation, because you actually know what time of day it is. It was cool to be supported in all this nerdiness and obsessing over the phase relationship between mics and stuff. Usually when you're setting up for a recording session with an artist, you have pressure to start recording songs. But here, our meticulousness is the product. So setup was super fun.
This session was really quite different because of the fact that we're really specific and it's super dynamic and you're paying attention, super close attention to every detail, like microscopic. So it's a learning experience, I would say. Super cool.
Just amazing to hear these kits like this without pressure of, oh, it has to sound like this or this for a specific song. We can let these kits, sing their own tune and tell their story. So that's the idea, to just have them sound the way they do. I've been mind blown of how useful it is. You just want to make songs when you hear Christopher sound checking these kits. I think we have a really cool way of bringing something that's pretty hard to come by accessible to anyone, because it's a sound that I've been chasing for a long time, and I'm quite excited to have it for myself, to be honest.
I hope you all will enjoy these drums as much as I do and stay creative with them, like use them for whatever. All combinations and in all settings, songwriting, producing, all genres basically, all styles of music. That would be cool.
Yeah, it really was fun.
Jag tyckte det var superhäftigt. Det lät ju som man var där.
Ja, men visst blir det väldigt realistiskt liksom.
Jag tyckte det var så coolt.